Payam, you want to see how I'm going to start this podcast?
Are you going to do that stupid shit again?
Every single time. You know it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Payam Ali podcast. I'm your co-host Daniel. Here's your host Payam Ali. And in the back, as always, we got Marvin. Marvin, you want to yell how you doing from the back?
How you doing?
Never fails, eh? See, we got a thing going on now. Every single podcast, we have a semi-ritual that, we got our own
Daniel,
ritual.
I'm going to turn you into a ritual if you don't start this podcast.
All right, let's get into the topics. The first topic we're going to be discussing is that Vancouver Village's pre-zoning plan. There was a public hearing on July 14th, 2026. We're going to talk about what's going on there and what they're actually kind of planning to do in the future.
Okay.
Next up, new Westminster rental cooling bylaw. So your landlord now has to keep you cooled, which is new. We didn't have that before. But it's only in the new Westminster. We're going to discuss what the...
Hey.
Come on, man. We're going to discuss what the bylaws look like, and then we're going to really get into it as well and see what that means for the future. Next, TD says that condos haven't really hit their bottom yet in Vancouver, and there's going to be a new bottom.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that article.
We made content about that, yeah.
We made content about that too. We're going to talk about that article, what was said, and also what we as agents think about it as well, because that is important too. I think, at least. And finally, we're going to talk about Port Coquitlam is moving to modernized hospitality regulations. So we're going to look at what that means for the city of Coquitlam and how that's going to look like for businesses and owners as well. So, ready?
Let's do it. Let's dig in.
Okay. So, first topic of the day, Vancouver's village pre-zoning plan. Vancouver Village's pre-zoning plan.
Villages,
yeah.
You're acquainted with that word.
Yeah, I am. So here are the stats as they stand. Vancouver is moving forward with a major villages planning program that could pre-zone 17 neighborhood villages areas for more low-rise housing, mixed-use buildings, shops, services, and community amenities. The idea is to create more complete neighborhoods where people can meet daily needs close to home. The city says the plan is now headed towards public hearing on July 14th, 2026. So they've already had a public hearing. The proposed changes include city-initiated rezoning for about 13,000 parcels, which story report is about 96% of the parcels within the village areas. The plan would allow for mix of housing types, including townhomes, multiplexes, low-rise apartments, and mixed-use building for up to 6 stories in some areas. So, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, is pre-zoning the right way to speed up building? Or housing?
It is. Right? It is, because it helps a lot, especially with developers knowing what they're getting themselves into and what the requirements are.
Like it removes the major delays, what you're trying to say.
Right, it removes the major delays. Yeah. But at the same time...
But you're changing a whole neighborhood all at once real fast.
Exactly.
So
right?
there's a lot of positives and also some negatives to it.
Yeah, and then another thing that we got to look into is that, what do locals think about this? Because I think people are sick of more density at this point.
I think they need to work on the framework of zoning a little bit more instead of just building all at once real quick.
Yeah, and then maybe think about more towards the infrastructure side.
Of course.
Before moving into, maybe just getting crazy densities.
Because pre-zoning could be a nightmare too.
Yeah.
It cuts all the development time and all that stuff, and then things get pushed faster, but then if no thought is put into it and it's just boom.
And I feel like that's what sort of Vancouver has turned into, especially over the past decade or so, where they just, because of the whole housing crisis, they just feel like they gotta go move fast, boom, 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 but they don't actually see what the negatives that could come out of this.
Long-term impacts maybe.
There you go. What the long-term impacts could be from this, right?
Infrastructure, schooling, housing,
hospitals, daycare,
right?
You can't increase the population so quickly without addressing the support system around it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree, because, for instance, another, we can see this everywhere. It's sort of happening everywhere else. We're getting more density with TOA, right? For instance, one of the places that is going through that is obviously Coquitlam, but we do not have the infrastructure in Coquitlam for more density.
We don't have the infrastructure in a lot of places, man.
We don't have the infrastructure in a lot of places. Yeah, that's true.
So who benefits from all this villages plan?
Well, landlords do. right? Because your property is rezoned, you're cashing out.
But what about like renters, future residents?
I think
They benefit from the rentals and the below market
They do.
rentals as well.
Yeah, I think locals might not be super
If it actually
happy.
gets built.
Yeah. I think locals might not be super happy, just given all the negatives that come with this, right?
I think developers will like it because it has a little bit more clearer rules. But at the same time, I think requirements still matter. I don't think it should just be all set and done and let it go.
Well, Vancouver has this thing where it's just they're very harsh on everything until they have their backs on the wall and they're like, okay, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have these moments a lot. But we're gonna have to see how this turns out. Well, this is a
But what about
long way down the road.
what are some of the biggest trade-offs though? If we're
Biggest
speaking
trade-off?
negatives and positive, what are the biggest trade-offs?
I think traffic is by far the biggest issue we have.
More supply versus the character of the neighborhood as well.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. There's not going to be much of a public debate anymore. It's just going to be
Just
approvals.
yeah, there you go. We don't care what you think.
Faster approvers.
Yeah, we
Let it
don't
go.
care what the city thinks. Let's just give it to them.
And like we said, more pressure on more residents versus pressure on infrastructure. Like, yeah, does bring jobs, but then
I think
also how people need to be able to travel through all this.
Yeah, I think infrastructure is the biggest one here, right? And I think it's the one thing that we're lacking. I think housing isn't as big of an issue as it used to be.
And I say also affordability versus like the economics, the project economics.
Yeah.
Like, realistically.
Also, for buyers looking to get into these areas that have been pre-zoned, is knowing what your builder, the height your builder might, your neighbor might build.
Yeah.
Right. So say if you buy, a character, like for example, a character home in a nice area, but then down the road, years down the road, your neighbor builds a 3-story quadplex. So that ruins the character
And also your view,
and also your
if you add any, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're considering that when there's no public hearing, they're zoning things for up to 6 stories. I think your view might go out of the window.
It's true. Okay. And so what should homeowners do if they are all in one of these, if one of them are in one of these areas?
I think watching what's happening with the neighborhood very closely is important.
Okay.
Right? And pre-planning your exit strategy if you have an exit strategy. Right? And
I would say don't assume immediate redevelopment.
No.
Because that's what's happening with me and my neighbors too. Like, remember they all like, oh yeah, it's happening here. I'm like, let's not assume redevelopment so soon, right? Like, just take a hold on it.
Rezoning is one thing, right? Project economics is another, right? If your lot is rezoned, but it just financially doesn't make sense for a developer.
Two different worlds.
Yeah. I would also strongly advise neighbors and owners to participate in a little bit more of the public hearings, even though there isn't going to be any more, but keeping track of what council is doing, what council isn't doing. I think these are very important things.
100%.
Excuse me.
I agree. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
It seemed like you were going through a little thing over there.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Well, let's move this along before
I get
you get hangry. Yeah, because we don't want that.
The only thing Marvin's thinking about is that he's hungry. What are we going to eat?
Okay, this one is actually, I want to really talk about this.
Oh, yes.
I really want to talk about this because this is started with New Westminster.
Yeah.
We don't know who else is going to adopt the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think more and more cities are going to start adopting this bylaw, right? So New Westminster's rental cooling bylaw. Here are the stats. New Westminster has approved a new rental cooling requirement. On June 8th, 2026, the City Council amended its business regulation and licensing rental unit bylaw. The new rule requires landlords and property owners to make sure at least one living space only one living space. So you don't have to cool the whole house, right? That's interesting. But
well, I think what they're trying to say, Daniel, one living space is meaning like these. This was brought into play because of the older buildings in New Westminster. Not to say there's other buildings that are older in other lower parts of the Lower Mainland, but I think by unit they mean each unit in the building.
Each unit, you don't think they mean like a room in a building where they like keep the living room cool?
Like it's
subjective.
Like an emergency AC cool room,
right? Like
like a mist station and like roofers and stuff.
Search that up. Let's find out what the case is.
Yeah,
but
ChatGPT that is this New Westminster, or search it up and see like, is that actually and also confirm it too from other sources. Don't just rely on ChatGPT. It's been wrong, man.
It's been wrong. No, the AI definitely hallucinates.
It can be-
You gotta make sure. So, where were we? The new rule requires landlords and property owners to make sure at least one living space is occupied. Rental units does not exceed the average indoor temperature of 26 degrees between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. The rule applies every year from April 1st to October 31st. The city says this came to response to this 2021 heat dome, when 33 New West residences died due to extreme heat. So, I see what they put the bylaw in place.
I get it.
Especially, we're going to have a very hot summer.
And extreme heat is now a safety issue, which is, I understand, there was a lot of deaths, especially seniors.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, for the past couple of summers, I've been wondering why this has not been a bylaw yet.
But it's creating new responsibility for landlords too.
It is.
Like, here's the thing. What if you have an old building and the power can't support AC? Then you're into having to spend all that money into going and doing that. Then you're going to figure out, okay, is it worth dealing with it, not dealing with it?
That's a good
right? You're going to put the property on sale because you're like, I'm not going to go change the whole panel in this building and do all this electrical work to be able to support all this. And then what kind of pressure does that put on that? Like, don't get me wrong. I definitely feel like as a landlord myself, it's important to have AC and be able to, but to have to be responsible for cooling it. I don't think I think you should be responsible for having all the requirements and needs to give the person access to cool it is understandable.
So it looks like it's one room per unit.
One room per unit. That's very interesting.
Imagine the electrical demand.
Okay, that's a little bit better because then it puts a little bit less pressure.
You don't have to cool the whole home, right? You have to cool maybe the living room or
Who pays for all this?
The landlord.
But that.
Who else?
That's if you assume that everyone keeps the door close to that one room per unit, which is will almost never be the case, right?
Look, I think for buildings, not for single family residents that are just renting their downstairs, because those guys sometimes can't afford or have the means to upgrade their panel to 200 amps because it's an older home and it has 100, 120, 125 amp.
Yeah.
And it can't handle multiple ACs. That one, I think we should have a little bit of an understanding of. It's a little bit difficult for a landlord, but if you have a full on building and you need to, I think you should be responsible for upgrading the panel and getting everyone to be able to put a portable AC themselves. But I feel like is this asking landlords to install AC in the unit too? Or is it just giving him I
think you can even have a portable AC, but you just have to make sure you're providing.
You have to provide the portable AC too?
It's your responsibility to make sure it's under 28 degrees, right? It's your responsibility.
Holy cow, that's
as a landlord.
That's a little. I don't know about that one.
So if it's your responsibility, then I guess
I think it should be a responsibility to be able to provide all the things and necessities of power and window access for a portable AC, but they should be responsible to buy their own AC.
They have to make sure average temperature.
Am I wrong about this, man?
The bylaw is also performance-based, meaning landlords are not necessarily required to install air conditioning. They can use any cooling method that achieves the temperature requirement, although they are responsible for ensuring the room stays within the limit. Landlords cannot prohibit tenants from using portable cooling devices like the portable AC.
Which is understandable.
Which you
could buy, get your portable AC and put it there. But you're asking me to pay for the AC now?
Well, you're responsible for keeping it at this temperature. So however you want to do it, you have to do it. Now, if you want to buy portable AC, you want to keep the fridge door open all day, right? Like, however the hell you're going to do it, you need to do it. So if I'm your tenant...
AC is a luxury.
Well, not anymore. Because if people are dying from the heat, is it a luxury?
I understand that.
Right.
And I'm saying you should put all the necessity needs in order to have someone put an AC in their window.
Yeah.
There should be no restrictions for that. If your windows don't fit an AC, the landlord should be responsible to make that window bigger and give access to someone to put AC. If the power blows up and breaks a breaker and because of the AC, the landlord has to be responsible to fix that issue so you can have an AC. But to go as far as saying, do all that and go buy me the AC?
Wow.
Then we're wondering why, rents are going up and why things are there's also these things too. You're taking the cost of everything a little higher now.
Yeah. Or maybe you can, if it's the really cheap landlord, you can get a bucket of ice and, like a fan.
No, I think landlords
Cool
should
it
definitely
down.
have the means to deal with that, especially rental building, like multiple units.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I don't think this just applies to multiple
Because
units.
there is a
I
lot
think
of
this applies
especially
to
seniors, man. They're going through a tough time with heat
the
and
heat.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I love these there's a lot of organizations too that like you can buy ACs and donate to them and stuff like that to help to the seniors.
Yeah, I guess the landlords have to do that now. Well, only in Westminster. But here's the real question: do you think more cities are going to start adopting this bylaw?
100%.
I could see it too.
Yeah.
So what's gonna be what temperatures are we looking at?
What before that? What does this mean for landlords and investors? Let's get into that. So, like we said, older rental buildings may need capital planning. Buildings without central cooling need portable AC solutions,
So
electrical
here what it
checks,
means.
window treatments.
Hear what it means: more costs and more headaches. Because if that AC breaks, now you're responsible.
You know what's kind of funny?
Yeah.
The city says fines range from $200 to $750, and tickets may be issued daily.
See, now more costs and more headaches. Because dealing with tenants is not easy on it. Like as a
I think there
landlord, you
should
gotta
be an
understand
option. I think there should be an option for AC and without AC, and there should be a premium for the rent in order to provide that.
But that's already a thing.
Well, no,
And-
because a lot of the properties right now are rented 20 years ago for a lot lower.
Yeah.
And now this little bylaw comes into place. You have to be responsible
Yes.
to do all that as well. Honestly, it comes back to what I was saying. I feel like a bunch of hedge funds are just trying to get every landlord and
Going
investor to
back
be
there.
like, just buy up everything themselves and deal with it. And then average people like yourself and I who want to buy some investment properties and rent it out, we're just going to be like, it's not worth it. We don't want to do it.
It's too much headache now.
Too much headache now.
Yeah. Imagine you have to fix an AC once a week. And those things break.
Yeah, it says right here. The city says cooled common room does not satisfy the rule. Each tenant must have at least one room inside their unit, excluding the kitchen and bathroom, that meets the temperature standard.
A big ass.
It's a big ass for an older building, man.
It's a big ass.
Jesus. It does. Better buildings may become more attractive rentals. Units with good cooling, heat pumps, updated windows, better insulation may become more desirable, especially during hotter summers. Yeah, but those are going to be
already
more expensive.
desirable, right?
They're going to be more expensive.
Yeah, they were already more expensive.
And what about the people who can't afford it?
That's true.
Could this push hot rents higher?
Yes, 100%.
Operating costs.
Operating costs and just a headache. The risk to reward ratio.
The city is trying to allow low-cost options. New Westminster lists lower-cost cooling measures like curtains, cross-breeze strategies, fans, thermal window films, weather stripping, and LED bulbs. That suggests the city is not requiring one specific expensive solution.
But
What the hell? LED bulbs? Fans? How is that possible to keep it
How-
under 26?
right? Like
I get it. The heat from the LED doesn't give off heat versus a light bulb. But like that's not going to help cooling when we're in a heat wave.
that's not gonna guarantee you the temperature that you have to keep it in. Like, sure, it'll help.
I understand because of the deaths that this has caused, which is terrible. But there needs to be a little bit more of a give and a get here. This is crazy.
I think if they went ahead and said, okay, for every new condo that's gonna get built from now on, right?
Yeah.
AC's a must.
100%.
Okay,
That should have been there 10, 20 years ago.
Exactly. I understand that. I respect that.
But if you have an old building that was built in 1960 and you have a 10-unit building and it's rented and the cap rate is like 2% because the people are from 20 years ago and you can't raise the rent more than 0.2%, okay?
3.5.
I said 0.2% to be sarcastic, meaning 3.5% is nothing too. But like nothing for every many years that goes on and the cost of everything is becoming more. How is this supposed to make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, next topic.
Next headline. So TD says Vancouver's condo market is still searching for a floor.
Already floors.
Some of them, pardon? It's basement, not a floor anymore. They're moving into down street. Nice.
So
basement.
TD Economics released a June 11 report saying Greater Vancouver's condo market remains under pressure. TD says weak demand is elevated. Supply is expected to push condo prices lower through 2026. Their forecast is for a roughly 15% peak through decline from the 2023 high by mid-2027, which they say would be the deepest correction in their data going back to 2005. For 2026, TD expects condo prices to fall around 7 to 8% on Q4 over Q4 basis, with some stabilization in 2027. The latest Greater Vancouver Realtors May data supports the idea that condos are weaker than other segments. Apartments sales were down 1,009, down 7.2% from May 2025, and the apartment benchmark price was $697,800, down about 7.9 year over year.
For someone who's going to be completing on a condo in 2 years, I am terrified.
Is this a buying opportunity or a warning sign?
Could be both, right?
If you're buying for long term, buy.
Very well said. Long term. I was just going to say, if you're buying opportunity for long term buyers, yeah, it's good. It is a warning sign for short term buyers, though.
Yeah, but there aren't that many of those anymore, anyways.
And it also depends on monthly payments, not just price.
You want?
So why are condos softer than other property types?
Because this isn't an investor type market, and condos primarily have been more attractive to investors.
But surprisingly, compared to Toronto versus Vancouver, we have more end users statistically on condos than investors. That's also why Toronto's condo market's doing a lot worse than us.
Toronto's condo market.
Yeah, because it was a lot more investor driven than end user versus ours is, not to say not investors as well, but there's more end user. I also think reason why condos are a little bit softer than other property types is because there's more of them. There's more inventory, there's more condos going up, there's less detached being built new product than there is condos. What does it mean for first-time home buyers and investors?
It might be a good time to start looking, actually.
More negotiating room for them,
Yeah,
definitely.
there you go. I would say right now would be the perfect time to kind of just look at
But
what's
investors need to chill because cash flow is no good.
Yeah, well, it's just because...
And definitely pre-sale buyers should be cautious.
Yeah, the pre-sales are definitely tricky. Especially
And then
nowadays.
like they're saying 2027 it's going to stabilize, but that's not a promise. That's not going to, we don't know that for sure.
We don't know that. We don't even know if it's going to hit the lows they're talking about.
Very true.
Yeah, we could be at the bottom of the market. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. But
Port Coquitlam moves to modernize hospitality regulations.
They do. All right, so here are the stats as they stand. Port Coquitlam is looking at modernizing its hospitality rules. On June 10th, 2026, the city said its committee of council recommended a package of regulatory changes after the mayor's hospitality roundtable process. The goal is to better support local hospitality businesses by updating zoning rules, liquor license approvals, communications with businesses, and advocacy to the province. Proposed zoning changes would remove outdated references like dance clubs, dance floor size restrictions, and amusement machines, and would add entertainment facilities as a permit use. For liquor licensing, the city is looking to separating minor routine applications from major ones. So, smaller low-impact changes could be handled by staff, while bigger applications still go to council. This is a real estate topic because rules like this affect commercial tenants, restaurants, patios, nightlife, high street vibrancy, mixed-use buildings, and neighborhood livability. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Why is hospitality regulation a real estate topic?
It is a real estate topic.
Why
Because how easy it is for businesses to get permits and for new businesses to come up, it makes the neighborhood more livable, it makes the neighborhood more desirable, so it makes prices go up.
Yeah.
Right?
It
is
affects
direct.
commercial leasing as well.
It does.
It also affects mixed-use development.
That too.
But it also affects nearby residents too. What about the noise?
Yeah.
There needs to be a clear line, Danbo, between minor and major changes. That's what I think. The debate is really about balance.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
Yeah. So what would be a minor change? Is a liquor license a minor change? Like if
No.
if I have a
Like
restaurant,
what time it's open till I think is a major change.
that's a major change.
I don't think it's a
that's
minor. But like minor change would be like how many people can be on the patio at one time,
Sure. Yeah.
right? I don't know. Like
Sure.
it really comes down to like here it says
So-
major applications like liquor primary venues would still go through full council review, which I think is
Which
good,
makes sense. Yeah.
right? This affect property owners, investors, and residents.
Well, we already know the answer to that.
There'll be commercial landlords may benefit from a wider tenant.
Exactly.
Pool.
Right. And if it's more desirable for businesses, because
Residential owners need commercial areas may have mixed reactions, though. If you think about it, near the residents that live near these commercial spaces, they might be like, well, there's going to be more drunks. There's going to be more time opening. They may have a negative outcome to it.
Yeah.
But developers will definitely see more value in mixed use locations.
They will. 100%.
But nothing is final yet. So let's not go and we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
see how it turns out.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it.
Next one.
That's it.
No, we're done. We're going to wrap it up.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it up, Danny.
All right. You want me to wrap it up for you real quick?
Wrap it up,
Wrap
Danny.
it in the box for you.
Are you going to wrap it?
I'm gonna wrap it.
Do you want me to wrap it?
No, I'm gonna wrap it.
Hurry up
Don't
and
you
wrap
ever
it.
dare take my wrapping away.
Okay, wrap.
All right. Watch this wrapping. I'm gonna wrap this real quick. All right. Thank you again for tuning into the Pine Alley podcast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you won't miss a post. We talk about anything Vancouver real estate related, and we also have these pretty little things around. So make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
You have to
I
make it
think
awkward.
that vein
that what way?
that you were like popping out of your throat right now
Yeah.
when you're trying to wrap it up,
Yeah.
I think it was about to pop. Those
Sometimes it does. It's how angry you make me. You make my veins want.
I make you angry.